And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'll mute everybody now, and we're going to start off in a comfortable seat, but then we will shift to standing pretty quickly. So you can take a comfortable seat and just take a moment here to set yourself up so that it feels good for you on your hips, your low back. And that might involve sitting up even as high as in a chair. So you have that option here to make it even more comfortable for yourself. So as you come to a tall seat, take your hands to your hips, and we've done this now on Monday and Tuesday, that movement through the pelvis, starting to feel that fluidity of the movement. So tilt your belly forward and back. And as you tilt your belly forward and back, you can notice if there's some freedom of movement there for just your pelvis, or if you need to move other parts like your shoulders and torso to get that movement to happen. And it's not to create any kind of judgment around it, but it's just to take in those details. So take another moment here, moving forward and back through the pelvis. And then allow your belly to tilt a little bit more forward. Let your hands rest down. You can let your eyes close here if it's comfortable, and take a couple big breaths, bringing your awareness to that space around your navel. And you can even think of 2 fingers or 4 fingers below your navel here. And as you let this area expand and contract with breath, you can also bring in the color of this chakra if you would like. You can imagine the color orange. Sometimes I actually see it as kind of an orb in that area. Sometimes I just imagine that color in that area of my body. However it shows up for you, there's no right or wrong answer. But take a moment to think of the affirmation if you would like, which is, I flow with the rhythms of life, open to the goodness around me. I flow with the rhythms of life, open to the goodness around me. Now bring hands to connect at heart center, and then lift up just a little higher with your heart and your whole rib cage. As you exhale, bow toward your heart, honoring yourself for taking this time, this check-in on your mat. And as you softly open your eyes and release your hands down, we're going to come forward onto our mats and just stand at the front of your mat. So you can come up to a stand in any way that feels comfortable. You can always flow your way there, to a down dog and stepping forward, or just stand up. So as you come up to a standing position, take a moment to shift your weight from side to side on your feet. And then come to settle evenly on both feet. Lift and spread your toes, and then root your toes down. Turn your palms forward, and as you reach through fingertips, also lift up and open through your shoulders. Close your eyes if it's comfortable, and take another full breath, feeling your body in this space. And now inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, soft through the knees to fold over the legs. And inhale, lengthen part way, hands up above your knees. And then pause for a moment here. Extend your heart forward and tilt your pelvis forward and back, or I should say up and down here. So it's sitting bones lift, sitting bones lower. And as you find that tilt, notice if there's any stickiness, any areas where it's tricky to move. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Pause in your fold and tilt your sitting bones a little further up. You can always have blocks underneath your hands here if you would like, but step your right foot back into your lunge. Take a moment here to just notice, starting to get a little more into the hips. Find length through your spine, extending with your heart. Press through your heel behind you and get a little stretch through your calf. And now back knee on the ground if it's comfortable. You can do this part with your knee lifted if you need. Extend your heart further forward. Walk your hands to the inside of your front leg and work down toward one elbow, maybe two. Take a big breath, again, long through the spine. Think of your front ribs and collarbones moving forward. Big, full, deep breath. And now come back to your hands and you're setting them on either side of your front leg. Step back into a downward facing dog pose. Take a full breath. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. You can use knees on the ground here if you would like. Extend forward with your heart. And then as you bend elbows and lower down, let your belly come to rest on the ground. Shoulders lift up and back, keeping your chest low, lengthen the back of your neck, and then take a couple big breaths, filling your breath into your low belly. And now inhale, curl up and open as high as your body needs. Baby cobra, medium cobra, high cobra, whatever that looks like. And then exhale, lower all the way back down, tuck toes, and push back to a downward facing dog pose. Deep breath. And down dog can also look like hands and knees instead. And now we stepped our right foot back for this, so we're going to step our right foot forward, coming into that lunge on the second side. And again, you can always use blocks. You can always keep your knee lifted here, but pause and grow longer through your spine. And then back knee down if you would like. Work your hands to the inside. Take a big deep breath as you start to lower as far as your body needs. Maybe coming down onto elbows, maybe staying up high. Big deep breath. And then coming back to your hands, bring them to either side of your front leg. Lift your back knee and step forward into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold over your legs. Bend your knees, squeeze the glutes, and inhale, reach up and rise. Coming all the way to stand, lift your gaze. Exhale, hands come to your heart. As you close your eyes here, take a full, big, deep breath and notice what's present in your body this morning, what's showing up for you. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Bring your hands up above your knees again here. And we'll do that same tilt of the pelvis. So as you tilt your pelvis up and down, sitting bones down, sitting bones lift, letting your belly move toward your legs, and then letting your belly lift. Just notice if there's any more freedom of movement happening through your pelvis. Again, no right or wrong answer, just notice. And then back to center here, fold over your legs. Plant fingertips, you're stepping left foot back into your lunge. As you center with your hips here and bend into your front knee, grow longer through your front, extending with your heart. Then back knee can be up or down, your choice. And then work hands to the inside. As you extend further forward with your heart, you can stay up high or work down toward one elbow or two. Take a big, deep breath. From this place, wrap your right hip back. You might feel your knee turn a little bit toward the pinky toe edge. And press your back knee down, letting your hips stay a little bit elevated. And now rising back to hands, we're stepping back to either hands and knees or downward facing dog, depending on which one feels the best in your body. Take a full, big, deep breath. And then inhale, come forward into your plank pose. This time we're gonna pause for just a moment here. So you can always have your knees on the ground, or you can have them lifted, but rotate elbow pits forward and push. Extend further forward with your front. Take a full, big, deep breath. Now, as you bend elbows and lower down, come all the way to your belly. And then reach back with one leg at a time so that you're lengthening. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Lift the shoulders up and back without rising up through the chest yet. Reach back through your triceps. Take a full big breath and fill into your low belly. And now as you inhale, we're lifting up with the hands, lifting up with the chest, lifting up with the legs. If that's in your practice, you can always set hands down. You can always set feet down, but take a full couple of breaths and now pulse. Inhale to rise up a little higher and exhale to lower just a little bit. Inhale to rise and exhale to lower. We have about 5 more here. And as you do this, see if you can tell where it is that you stop engaging through the low belly. Try to keep the tone through the low belly and even tone through the low ribs as you make this movement. 2 more, full inhale, long, deep exhale, deep inhale, and exhale. All the way back down. This time, set hands underneath your head. You can turn your head to the side or set your head straight down. Take a full, big, deep breath. You might bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. And then back into center now. Tucking toes, you can move through downward facing dog pose or hands and knees, your choice. Take a full, big, deep breath. And now we stepped back with our left foot, so we'll step forward with our left foot this time. And you can, again, have blocks underneath your hands if you would like. Extend your heart forward, take a full, big, deep breath. Find that wrapping action of your right hip so that your knee turns a little bit from the big toe side to the pinky toe side. Back knee comes to the ground if you would like. You can always do it with the knee up, but hands come to the inside. Grow longer through your spine and then work down as low as your body is ready for. Coming into this alligator pose, full, big, deep breath. And then rising back up to your hands, hands on either side of your front leg. Back knee lifts and step forward into your fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. And exhale, fold. Hands to hips this time. Press back on hips. Lift up with shoulders and elbows. And then rise all the way up. Coming up to your standing position. Find your feet in or hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them. Turn palms open. You can close your eyes here if it feels good. And take a deep breath. And now finding your balance over onto your left foot. You're lifting your right knee into your chest. If you'd like, you can shift over to a wall, okay? Knee lifts into your chest lifts up high. Wrap your right hip down. Good. Flex your foot. Arms are gonna stay here by your sides, or you can take your hands to your hips. Take a big inhale, lift up even higher with your heart. As you exhale, you're pushing your heel forward toward the wall in front of you. Inhale, heel draws in. Exhale, push your heel back as your torso comes forward. Center with your hips. Take a full inhale, rise all the way back up and lift your knee. Exhale, push your heel forward. Inhale, draw your heel back in. And exhale, push your heel back, warrior 3. Inhale, lift up with your torso, lift your knee. This time, hug your knee in if that's in your practice. And exhale, release your foot back down. Okay, second side. a little flowing in our balance. So as you find your balance onto your right foot, lift your knee up and towards your chest, wrap your hip down and give your foot a flex. Good, take a full big inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, push your heel forward. Inhale, draw your heel back in. Exhale, push your heel back as your heart comes forward. Inhale, come back up with your torso, lift your knee. Exhale, push your heel forward. Inhale, draw it back in. Exhale, push your heel back. Inhale, lift up with the torso, lift up with the knee, give it a hug. And exhale, foot back down, give it a shake. Hands come to your heart. Take a moment to return to your breath. Notice how your body's feeling, whatever sensations are there. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. As you plant hands this time, step back to hands and knees or down dog. Take a big deep breath. Inhale, come forward into your plank, and we're going to pause again. So if you would like, knees can come down to the ground. If your knees are down, try bringing them back behind your hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Extend further forward with your front ribs and collarbones. Take a full big deep breath. As you exhale now, bring yourself controlled all the way to the ground. And now we're going to take another variation of that core Cobra pose that we took before. So arms reach out in front of you if that's in your practice. Your palms are turning in, your thumbs are up. And now as you reach back with one leg at a time, lengthening, root down with the tops of your feet. Think of shoelace parts of your feet pressing down. And then take a big breath into your low belly. And now before we rise up anywhere, I want you to find the low belly and rib engagement. So on your next exhale, draw low belly in and ribs in. And now inhale, rise up with arms and legs. And now as you take your next few breaths, we're going to do a little opposites. So right leg and left arm rise a little higher, then left arm and right leg rise a little higher. I think I said that wrong, but you get the point. So as you rise and lower, we're staying lifted the whole time, but letting our legs and arms alternate with each other. Take a full couple of breaths and see if you can re-engage low belly and ribs. Take another full breath here. And then set down all the way. Legs come down, head comes down on your hands if that's comfortable. If you'd like, you can bend your knees and windshield wiper. And now use your hands underneath your shoulders to push yourself all the way back into the child's pose if that's in your practice today. Hips can always stay a little lifted. Let your head settle and let your breath settle. And then gently bring yourself all the way up to your seat, and we're coming down onto sitting bones. And then soles of feet come together. And we're gonna move our feet far enough away from us so that we can tilt our belly forward. And as you tilt your belly forward, think of lengthening from the sacrum all the way up. Take a full big deep breath. Inch your feet a little closer together. And then we're going to do a little bit of movement that has to do with those inner thigh muscles and the quads. So as you push your feet together, reach out through those inner thigh muscles so that your legs might lower a little bit toward the ground, and then release the reach. Reach out, and then release the reach. So you're doing a little flapping of your butterfly wings. Reach out and release. And take this a couple more times as you stay sitting really tall, all the way from your pelvis. Okay, and now bring soles of feet back up. And we'll come all the way down onto our backs. And from your back, make sure that you have all of your props handy. And from that place, soles of feet on the ground, walk your feet out wide. And now we're gonna move in our windshield wipers, but we're gonna emphasize it a little bit differently. So bring both knees over to the left side. And then take a look at your right thigh. Make sure that your right thigh is straight ahead from your hip as opposed to angled to the left. So you can inch it in that direction. Engage both feet. And then bring your legs over to the right side. And then notice that same action here with your left thigh. So now we're gonna let the top leg lead. And you can reach your arms overhead here if you would like to. But now you open the top leg. Left leg opens up. And then the right leg follows. And then the right leg opens up, and then the left leg follows. And as you do this, just notice for yourself if there's any difference in how you're experiencing sensation in the hips. Notice any tension that might be present. Notice any body sensation that's present. And we'll do this one more time where we're letting that top leg lead. And as you take that on both sides, pause on the right side with your legs. And now, instead of putting our right foot over our left thigh, we're going to use our left hand to help us rotate the hip. So from here, take your left hand to your hip, your upper glute, wherever it's comfortable, and help rotate it a little bit more toward the right side. Reach through your thigh, take a full big deep breath, and recognize for yourself wherever you're experiencing something, whatever it is. And then release your hand, bring your legs back to center and then over to the left. And again, right hand is gonna help you roll your hip a little more to the left side and then reach further through your right thigh. Take a full big breath. And then release the hip, come back up to center and walk your feet in. And then you're drawing right knee in toward your chest as close as is comfortable. Left leg extends all the way out. And we'll just take 4 breaths here. So as you exhale, draw your knee in a little closer. Inhale, switch sides, drawing the left knee in. Exhale, draw it in a little closer. Inhale, switch sides. And exhale. Inhale, switch sides. And exhale. And now set both feet on the ground again, and you get to pick which prop you'd like to use to set your hips up. So it can be a block, it can be a bolster or pillow, it can be a folded up blanket. We'll walk your feet in towards your sitting bones and then lift your hips and then set a prop underneath them and let your hips come to rest. And from that place, you can stay here with your knees bent. You can walk your legs out long. You can reach arms overhead. You can come back to any of those previous places. But find the comfortable spot for your hips to be elevated. And remember that especially as we come into our restorative poses, we're not stuck in one place. If it becomes agitating to the body, or to the nervous system, you can shift to something that's more comfortable. Just take some big deep breaths right here and choose to shift if you need to. We have 3 more deep breaths right here. And now you can bring your arms back by your sides if they're overhead. Walk your feet in if your legs are extended. And then lift your hips. Take the prop out and set your hips all the way down. And from this place, you can take any movement that would feel good on your body after that back bend. So you can always take these in. You can take a happy baby pose. You can take a spinal twist. You choose what would feel good for another 20 seconds or so. And feel free to switch between the various options. And now as you begin to set yourself up into your Shavasana, think about making it as comfortable as possible. One of my favorite options these days is a pillow or bolster underneath my legs, soles of feet together in a butterfly, knees opening up. But you can take whatever variation of rest feels good in your body. Start to find that place. And begin to let yourself settle. And remember, you're always invited to shift if you need to find it more comfortable. Begin to take a deeper breath. Start to add some gentle movement into your fingers and into your toes. As you're ready to, bend your knees and roll over to your side, taking whichever side feels good today. Keeping your hips heavy, use your hands to support you, to bring yourself back upright. And then bring your hands to connect at heart center. And with your eyes closed, if that's comfortable, Take another moment here with that affirmation of I flow with the rhythms of life, open to the goodness around me. I flow with the rhythms of life, open to the goodness around me. Have a very peaceful day. Namaste.